Alright, welcome children, welcome everybody. Welcome to the English Classes series. With me, of course, your one and only teacher Liam. Okay, I hope you're doing fine right now. We are now on our second week. And for this week, we will be studying about on how to use dictionaries, thesaurus, and other online resources to look the meaning of words. Now, let's start. Okay, by the way, I want you to meet my friend Curly. Okay, so she has a problem. She has an assignment in science. And okay, they were asked to look for the meaning of the word organ. Now, question, what will she use? Uh-huh. Well, of course, she can use any of the following. Okay, she can use either dictionary, thesaurus, or online resources. So these are actually resources used to locate meaning of words. Now let's start with the first one with the dictionary. Okay, now a dictionary, it is a reference book that contains alphabetically arranged words with their meaning, often with information about grammar and pronunciation, and sometimes with how the word is being used in sentences or in conversation. Now, let's study more on this. Of course, we have the parts of a dictionary entry. The first one, we have the guide words. So the guide words, okay, it tells us the first and the last words being defined on each page of a dictionary. The second one we have here is the entry word. So the entry word is basically the word being defined. So sometimes it is separated with a dot, okay, to tell us the number of syllables of that particular word. Now, the second one, rather the third part is we have the pronunciation. So pronunciation is separated into syllables and tells you how to pronounce the entire word. Okay, so sometimes it has different symbols, okay, indicated different sounds and different pronunciations. Now the fourth one we have the part of speech. So usually abbreviated. This shows what part of speech the word is. And we have here the definition, of course, that explains the meaning of the entry word. Okay. All right, so that goes now with the parts of the dictionary entry. Now let's go to an example. So we have here, of course, the entry word penetrate, and we have, of course, the guide words, the pronunciation guide. Of course, a part of speech which is a verb. So penetrate is used as a verb, and the origin of the word it came from Latin. And of course, we have here the definition. It means to pass into or to enter. Okay, so sometimes it has an example. Okay, so the example sentence here is the needles penetrate the skin. Okay, now have you experienced that? Okay, your skin is being penetrated by a needle? Well, I hope not. All right, so let's move on now to the Thesaurus. Okay, so a Thesaurus, it is a book that gives the synonym and antonym of a word. So basically, when we say Thesaurus, it is like a dictionary. Okay, it is like a book, but the difference is, okay, Thesaurus, okay, gives the synonyms and the antonyms or of a particular word. Now, let's look at the example here. We have here the main entry. Heroic, the part of speech, is adjective. We have here the definition, okay, having the characteristic of a hero, very brave, and the synonyms we have here, noble, courageous, valiant, bold, fearless, etc. And we have here, of course, okay, we have here, of course, the antonyms, okay, which includes afraid, okay, cowardly, faint-hearted, fearful, and frightened. Now, let's move on to the online resources. So these are materials that can be found online or on the internet. Okay, some other names for online resources are electronic resources, web sources, and internet sources. Basically, everything that we can get on the internet. Now, let's look some examples here. So one example here is This is actually a website from oxforddictionary.com. Okay, picture is credited, okay, to the owner. Now we have, okay, of course, the different parts. We have the URL, the definition of the word, and the publication year. Okay, so this is actually an example of an online resources. Now, let's look at the second example, of course, the ever reliable and our user-friendly Mr. Google. Of course, okay, with one type, okay, we just have to type the keywords, then presto, we have all the information that we can get, okay, coming from different sources all over the world. Now here, let's go now to have some activities. Let's try this. I know you're excited. Okay, so please get a pen and a paper. Okay, because we will be doing some activities regarding the online resources. Okay, are you ready? Okay, now let's start our activity. Now, okay, so study the parts of the dictionary that I will be showing. Then write the letter of the correct answer on the blank before each number. Are you ready? Alright, so this is number 1 and 2. Okay, I'm going to give you 30 seconds. Alright, now let's go now to number 3. Okay, 30 seconds again. Alright, answers up. Let's look at the answer. Okay, for number 1, of course, the answer is, of course, delight. So that is the entry word. Then we have now here number 2, of course, the parts of speech of the word delight. Of course, it is used as a verb. Okay, so I hope you got it all correctly. Okay, now let's move on to number 3. Okay, so for number 3, okay, what is the meaning of the word delight? Of course, it means, okay, please someone greatly. That's letter A. Okay, so I hope you got it all correctly. I get you had some fun with me right now. And of course, by this, I want to thank you all for being here with me. Okay, for having patience, and okay, see you on my next slides, on my next lesson. Okay, bye bye, and keep safe, everyone.